The Mystara project is proud to present Part 33 of the Places of Mystara series. In this video, we take a look at the Sundsvall Aerodrome. The aerodrome was introduced in the 1989 boxed set, Dawn of the Emperors, in Book 1, the Dungeon Master's Sourcebook, on page 48. The aerodrome is located just to the northeast of the Imperial Palace block, in the center of the city of Sundsvall, on the continent of Alphatia. It covers an area of approximately 12.8 acres, roughly covering 16.6 regular-sized city blocks. Wealthy estates lie to the west and north, while businesses are located to the east. It is likely that the aerodrome commenced not long after Alphatian landfall in BC 1000, increasing in usage once the Alphatians learnt how to fly in this new world. Sometime between AC 953 and AC 964, the orphan, Ashari Sunlil, would often make her way from the pit quarter of the city's southeast to panhandle at the aerodrome. She often dreamt of flying on one of the airships. On the 11th of Newmont, AC 965, Admiral Haldemar of Harken received permission from Empress Ariadne the Wise to recommission the Princess Ark. 300 slaves and 35 master crafters were employed to accomplish this at the aerodrome. On the 5th of Thormont AC 965, the Princess Ark was completed and took to the skies. On the 1st of Flormont AC 1000, 3 skyships of the Imperial Crimson Guard intercepted the Princess Ark as it approached the aerodrome. The Ark and its crew were prevented from leaving. After a fortnight of detention, a distraught young crew member panicked and took a floating launch to escape, but was killed by a lightning bolt from an Imperial frigate as he floated toward the ground. On the 14th of Flormont AC 1001, the Princess Ark returned to Sundsvall Aerodrome to try to warn Empress Ariadne of dire upcoming events. But once again, the Ark was intercepted by 6 Imperial skyships. This time, the Grand Secretary to the Council of Wizards, Lord Nibere, forcibly boarded the Ark with his guards and arrested the crew. In the fall of AC 1009, the immortal Rad activated the newly constructed Doomsday device. Minutes later, a storm formed over the city of Sundsvall. The storm was like nothing the Alphatians had ever seen before. Lightning fell on the city as thick as rain, utterly destroying the Imperial Palace and most of the city center, including the aerodrome. Hail the size of warhorses crashed down upon the entire city. Rain flooded whole areas of the capital. When the Immortals restore Alphatia and place it in the Hollow World at a later date, they do not restore Sundsvall and its aerodrome. The aerodrome is protected by a wall and guard towers, in addition to the Imperial Crimson Guard airships, based at the Imperial Palace to the southwest. Wizards able to cast weather control spells operate from the towers. The center of the complex provides landing fields for the airships. The skyship construction yards are in the eastern part of the complex. Sundsvall produces the most skyships in the Empire, and probably for the whole planet. There are 2 passenger debarkation and customs areas, one in the northwest and one in the southwest. Hangars occupy most of the remainder of the aerodrome's perimeter. In terms of important dates, each year the aerodrome participates in the New Year's Week celebrations, from the 1st to the 7th of Alphamere. The celebrations feature spell displays, airship flying formations, and Empress Ariadne's favorite, the airship races. The aerodrome closes on the 15th of Sudmere for Howling Day, when everyone except slaves do no work, in preparation for howling at the full moon in nighttime festivities. Aerodrome traffic is reduced to flying creature mounts on Amphimere the 28th, the extra day, when no magic works. Warriors in the Imperial Guard are extra vigilant on this day. The vast majority of aerodrome staff and passengers are of common Alphatian ancestry. Pure Alphatians comprise the next largest group. A number of employees in the airship construction yards are from the Alphatian kingdom of Stout Fellow. Namely, dwarven engineers and gnomish specialists, called pliers and yardarms respectively, by the Alphatians. Some Shi'er elves can be spotted at the aerodrome, either working there or as passengers. Foreign diplomats, merchants, adventurers, and others also pass through the aerodrome as passengers. Airship construction largely depends on the number and capability of wizards involved. All the raw material is created by spells, such as cloth form, wood form and steel form. These materials are then crafted by the skilled servants and slaves. One skilled 36th level magic user could probably complete a man-o-war in 90 days. By comparison, the project for the Imperial Eagle skyship at Featherfall took about 16 months from start to launch. General skills such as shipwright, engineering, magical engineering, architecture, fantasy physics, and fantasy engineering are common in the construction's yards. The complex is overseen by a Lord Aerodrome Master, or Lady Aerodrome Mistress. Customs officers search for Zonga, entropic-related items, and other prohibited goods. Clerics with active Truesight spells, magic users with medallions of ESP, and golem guards provide security. Travel on a skyship generally costs between 28 to 44 gold crowns per day, based on the TM1 trail map flying rates, 4 Glantrian magical kites, and Alphatian flying carpets. This equates to a range of 195 to 305 GP per 500 miles traveled, compared to 20 GP per 500 miles for sea travel, outlined in GAS 9. Flights are available to major Alphatian cities. Flight frequency is directly correlated with the size and proximity of the destination. Skyship entry to the aerodrome costs 20 gold crowns. Docking costs 15 silver mirror coins per 10 hull points per day. The aerodrome sells magical air masks, spyglasses and aerial anchors, plus some mundane supplies. Sundsvall Aerodrome is a location that should be impressive for adventurers experiencing it for the first time. All sorts of skyships, coming and going, from the windriders of sloops, schooners, brigantines, clippers and man-o-wars, to flying creatures harnessed to flying coaches, to the transforming gargantoids of Vulcania. The PCs may also witness other famous aircraft, like the Airship of Love on its Imperial cruise, the Lady Luck Flying Casino, the Imperial Flying Castle which is based at the Palace, the Flying City of Serene, the famous Princess Ark, or even Aslam Swith's Geodome. For a native campaign based around the aerodrome, the PCs could start off in general security roles, perhaps dealing with low-level agents from Thyatis, Glantry, the Heldanic Order, or the Cult of Alphax. Plots could include the theft of prototype plans, a stolen skyship with hostages dilemma, an assassination, or kidnapping. Sky pirates could threaten the aerodrome, possibly Gamerians from old Alphatia, in their shark-shaped phase ships. As tensions between Alphatia and Glantry intensify, Empress Ariadna orders the aerodrome to ramp up its skyship production. She orders Admiral Haldemar to research a safer and more efficient variant to the Thoshan enchantment that bound the greater skyworm, Berilith, to the Princess Ark. The PCs could be charged with missions to gather intelligence on Alphatia's enemies, or assist with Haldemar's research, albeit the latter takes place in floating R. The DM should arrange for the PCs to avoid the destruction of the aerodrome in AC 1009 by being elsewhere. For dramatic effect, they could be following the final leg of the Wrath of the Immortals adventure, where they witness the storm that destroys Alphatia, through Rad's world model connected to the Doomsday device. Alternately, for foreign PCs who are enemies of Alphatia, the aerodrome could provide a very dangerous high-level adventure destination. They would need to thoroughly plan the mission, and possess powerful spells and magic items, to overcome the complex's security. A quick getaway capability would be essential, to avoid capture and imprisonment, in the horrific dungeons under the Imperial Palace. This concludes Part 33 of the Places of Mystara series, featuring the wondrous Sundsvall Aerodrome.